France vs England, redemption meets desperation in Six Nations title showdown. What was once billed as the definitive match of the tournament has evolved into something far more volatile and unpredictable. Before the Six Nations began, many expected the clash between France and England in Paris to decide the Grand Slam. Two historic rivals, both undefeated, meeting under the lights at the Stade de France in March. It had all the ingredients for a classic championship decider. But rugby rarely follows the script. Scotland produced a remarkable performance at Murrayfield to derail France's Grand Slam ambitions, while Italy shocked the rugby world in Rome by defeating England for the first time in their history. Those two dramatic results transformed the narrative heading into Super Saturday. Instead of a pristine Grand Slam decider, the final match has become a far more complicated and emotional encounter, one defined by redemption for France and desperation for England. Both teams arrive in Paris carrying scars from their previous matches. France's spectacular 50-40 defeat to Scotland exposed vulnerabilities beneath their attacking brilliance, while England's 23-18 loss to Italy created one of the darkest chapters in their Six Nations history. Now, with the championship still technically up for grabs, the stage is set for a dramatic finale in Paris. Championship stakes still alive despite their defeat in Scotland. France remain in contention for the Six Nations title. The mathematics of the final weekend keep their hopes alive, though much depends on the earlier result between Ireland and Scotland in Dublin. If Ireland defeats Scotland, France will only need a win against England to secure the championship trophy. However, if Scotland triumph in Dublin, the equation becomes more complicated. In that scenario, France would likely require a bonus point victory and favourable points difference to claim the title. For England, the stakes are slightly different but no less significant. Steve Borthwick's side must win to avoid equaling their worst ever Six Nations finish. A victory would also have the unusual consequence of handing the title to either Scotland or Ireland, depending on the earlier result. The motivations on each side therefore differ dramatically. France are chasing silverware and redemption, while England are fighting to salvage pride after a disappointing campaign. Yet both teams know the significance of the occasion. A spring evening at the Stade de France, with more than 80,000 spectators creating one of rugby's most electric atmospheres, provides the perfect stage for a dramatic confrontation. Where the match will be won, the defining contest will almost certainly begin in the physical exchanges. France have built their reputation under head coach Fabien Galthy on overwhelming physical dominance. Their pack prides itself on winning collisions and generating momentum early in matches, forcing opponents onto the back foot. If France succeed in this area, their attacking structure becomes extremely difficult to stop. England, however, are unlikely to shy away from the challenge. The inclusion of Ollie Chessum at blindside flanker reinforces their physical presence in the back row, while Ben Earl, the tournament's leading carrier with 79 carries, has consistently provided forward momentum. The collision battle will therefore shape everything that follows. Closely linked to that is the battle at the breakdown. Jackling, or competing for the ball on the ground, often appears to be an individual skill, but it is actually dependent on the outcome of the preceding collision. A team that wins the initial contact is more likely to generate quick rucks and attacking opportunities, while the defending side is forced to attempt turnovers. England may sense an opportunity here due to changes in the French back row. France are without Oscar Jago, who is suspended, and Anthony Jalanche, who is sidelined with a calf injury. Their absence has forced Galthy to reshape the loose forward trio. Temo Meshu will make his debut at flanker, bringing athleticism and line-out ability, while Charles Ollivon moves from the second row to number 8. Francois Cross remains the key figure at open side. The confrontation between Cross and Chessum could prove decisive. Cross is widely regarded as one of the most efficient breakdown operators in world rugby, bringing precision and relentless work rate. Chessum, by contrast, relies more on raw physical power and disruption. Whichever player imposes himself most effectively could tilt the balance of the breakdown contest. The scrum and tactical kicking battle. The scrum also represents an intriguing battleground. England loosehead Ellis Genge will likely target French tighthead prop Dorian Aldegheri, who has occasionally struggled under pressure during the tournament. Sustained pressure in this area could provide England with valuable penalties and attacking platforms. Interestingly, despite occasional individual vulnerabilities, France boasts the best scrum success rate in the competition at over 90%. They are also the only team to have scored multiple tries directly from scrum possession. England will therefore need both technical precision and sustained pressure if they hope to gain an advantage in this area. another crucial element will be the kicking game. Under Borthwick, England have developed a tactical approach based heavily on territorial kicking. Halfbacks Ben Spencer and Finn Smith are responsible for executing a strategy designed to pin opponents deep inside their own half. Against many teams this tactic can generate pressure. Against France, however, it carries considerable risk. Few teams in World Rugby are as dangerous on the counterattack as the French backline. With Antoine Dupont orchestrating play, Thomas Ramos acting as a sweeper, and young speedsters such as Theo Adesogbe and Louis Bielbayri in the back three, France thrive when opponents kick loosely. If England's kicks lack precision, they could inadvertently create opportunities for France to launch devastating counterattacks. Voices from both camps. French players have been refreshingly honest about the disappointment of their defeat to Scotland. Francois Cross admitted that while France scored 40 points, the number was almost irrelevant. Conceding 50 points at international level was unacceptable and deeply frustrating for a team that prides itself on defensive discipline. Antoine Dupont was equally candid. The captain acknowledged that 2 personal mistakes played a role in France's defeat and accepted responsibility without excuses. According to Dupont, the team must respond collectively rather than focusing on individual errors. Thomas Ramos also emphasized that France's ambition remains clear. Winning back-to-back Six Nations titles is rare, and France are determined not to let the championship slip away after coming so close. Meanwhile, England head coach Steve Borthwick faced a difficult press conference following the loss in Rome. He insisted that England's development over the past year had been strong despite recent results. Borthwick highlighted Ollie Chessum's determination to respond after a disappointing performance earlier in the tournament, explaining that the Leicester forward had earned his place back in the starting lineup. Maro Itoje, who will make his 50th Six Nations appearance, was even more direct. According to the England captain, the responsibility lies firmly with the players to produce a performance worthy of the occasion. Key players to watch: the breakdown duel between Francois Cross and Ollie Chessum will unfold quietly but could dictate the pace of the match. Another crucial contest lies at fly half. Matthew Jalibert has been one of the tournament's standout performers, leading the Six Nations in try assists. His instinctive attacking style and creative running lines regularly place defenders under intense pressure. Alongside Dupont and with Louis Bielbayri outside him, Jalibert has a wealth of attacking options. Finn Smith faces a different challenge. The young English playmaker possesses strong tactical awareness and an excellent kicking game, but he carries the burden of England's recent defeats into one of the most demanding environments in international rugby. The performance of each fly half may ultimately determine which team controls the match. Wing battle: Roebuck vs Bielbayri. Perhaps the most exciting individual matchup comes on the wing. Louis Bielbayri has emerged as one of rugby's most prolific finishers, scoring 25 tries in just 27 international appearances. His remarkable strike rate places him among the most dangerous attacking players in the modern game.